Hello guys and welcome back to TNT Madness. Today we're going to be looking at yet another wall on how to factions, but this wall is a little bit different as it's not an anti-sand wall and it's not really a super OP wall, even though it can be OP, but it has one attribute that makes it really good, and that's the fact that it is extremely cheap. And the reason it is extremely cheap and it's also extremely easy to build is because all you have to do is build 2 blocks high and you can build in a really large row, and all you have to do is use water and lava and you can spawn tons and tons of cobblestone pillars, which are actually very strong defense, stronger than most cobblestone walls and normal walls. And they're extremely cheap because all you have to use is water and lava, and then at the end you can get rid of your water and lava, so technically it's free. It just takes a little bit of time and it's really strong and it's great for budget builders. So that's why these are great. And also, if you're wondering why I've been doing tons and tons of walls lately, it's mostly because I want to do a proper unraidable base, because the original one I did was mostly for beginners. I haven't really done one that is really unraidable. So I'm going to be doing that sometime in the near future, and hopefully it'll be good. I just want to get all these out the way and get quite a few of these done. So that's pretty much this, but anyway, let's take a look at this thing. Let's take a closer look at this thing, I should say. So technically there are 2 ways this should look. One, which is the finished product, where you just see the cobblestone walls, which I'll show in just a second, and what it looks like now, or pretty much after it's completely finished building and you just need to clear it away. So what you have here is you've got water and lava, and that is what creates these cobblestone pillars. And the way that happens is by something called a cobblestone generator, which should be extremely familiar to anyone who's played Minecraft or Skyblock or even Minecraft for like a month. It's that simple and it should be that well known. But anyway, what it uses is it uses lava and water and creates cobblestone, and all you have to do is when there's lava here, the water will recognize it and go, oh, there is lava there, and turn it into cobblestone. It will do that all the way down. So that's how this works, and it does it for every single block, as you can see, and that's what creates this thing here. So let's take a look at this thing finished. So I've just finished cleaning this up, and as you can see the lava is just falling away, and this is what it looks like. And the great thing about this is you can have it huge. You could have this 100 by 100 blocks and it could just be absolutely massive, and you could just have extremely hard walls, and of course you can have water over top of this, and it's going to make it even harder. And also it can be harder for TNT to actually get through it because there's a huge gap between it, so the TNT could fly straight through it and it will take a lot more time to get through it because they'll need to be accurate, and the more time they spend on it, the less time they're likely to raid on it. So as you know, no base is technically unraidable. Some are pretty much impossible to raid, but if someone spent like 10 years they could raid it. So that's why it's based on how hard it is to raid it, so how long it takes to get through it. And the more experienced you are being defensive and attacking, the better and easier it is for you to defend and attack. So that's pretty much how it is. So this is what it looks like when it's actually done, and this is what I'd recommend most people do if they're making their first base, or they're just starting out and they have no resource whatsoever and they just want to create a base or some strong defenses, but they have no resources whatsoever. And you can do this by creating a really solid wall, which is this. So anyway, let's get on to the tutorial now that I've explained it. So for this tutorial I'm only going to be building one module, but at the end I'm going to show you how to expand it. But the reason for that is because you can expand infinitely left, right, and technically down because it'll be going downwards. So for this I'm just going to be doing a 5x5 area and showing you the basics and how to expand it. So the first thing you're going to need is at least a 5x5 area, or technically a 3x5 area at the minimum. And you're going to need some building blocks, a ton of water, and a ton of lava. One thing to keep in mind is the more lava and water you have, if you're building a really big base, the easier it's going to be, as you're not going to have to pick up more water or lava or take the ones that you've already built. So just a little idea there. So to start off, you're going to want to go to your middle bit, which is where we're going to be placing the lava. So the first thing you want to do is find your left corner or your right corner, and you want to place down a block. Then after that you want to miss block, because that's where you're going to place your lava, and place another block and just repeat. So after that you should have a pattern like this that goes all the way across, and after that you just want to place your lava in the middle, and then you want to wait for that to flow down, but make sure you destroy the blocks under it, as it will not work if you don't. So after that you just want to wait till this goes down to the bottom before you do anything else. So after you've placed all your lava and your blocks, now you can start moving on to the next bit, which is where you're going to be placing your water. So what you want to do is find the edge of the lava and place a block for each of the things on each side, and you want to make sure that you have water on each side of the lava. So when you expand this, we're going to be extending out 2 blocks at a time after you make your base, and then you just want to make sure water's on each side. So after this, you just want to place water in each of the corners and every little slot, and that way you will be able to create cobblestone in every direction. So as you can see, cobblestone is already starting to form because it is detecting where the lava is. So as you can see, this will take a hot minute to actually create the walls, but after it's done, it's going to be pretty cool. So anyway, on to expanding it. If you want to expand it in left or horizontally in this direction, all you want to do is just go out a couple of blocks, and then you can just continue repeating the same pattern. So you want to go out 2 blocks, and then you pretty much want to do the same thing, except you already have your water here, so you can just do the same sort of setup, place your lava in the middle, wait till it goes down, then place your water, and then you can just repeat that. I'd recommend that you place all your lava down first before you place your water, because then you can have everything sorted out, you can get it done in all one go, and then after you're done, you can just start by getting rid of everything. So as you can see, we have got a relatively nice looking wall here, and if we actually clean up everything now, so all we have to do is get rid of our water. I'll show you actually what it looks like after it's cleaned up. So it's just a tiny bit of lava that's still falling, just to really show you that I have sorted it out. And as you can see, it is just a simple 2x2 area of cobble pillars, but as you can imagine, as more you upscale this, and if you're building a sky base, which I'd highly recommend doing this if you are, it'll be a lot easier because you'll have like 250 blocks going down, and this will be something like 100 by 100 blocks wide. So you're going to have some crazy defense, and it's a really cheap way of making really strong walls. So pretty much like I said at the start of the video, all you want to do after this is, after you create your pillars, make sure that you place water on all the top. And one tiny thing is, if you're placing this on the corner of your base, you want to place a block like this, so that the water spreads out onto the side. And the only reason for this is that corner busters, which are a thing where they hit the block on the very edge where there's no water, it still counts as the block being right next to it, because it's technically is right next to it. The block will be right here, or the TNT will be right here, and then it'll just pretty much destroy the block. So just make sure you do that if you're placing this on the corners. Also, that's a little recommendation if you're doing it for any wall, but this is really good for corner pillars. So anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, please hit that like button. But anyway, goodbye from TNT Madness.